"The baby in my belly is yours," my boss said. And I replied, "So? I'm going to be a dad?" I thought I was about to lose my job that morning. Instead, I found out I was about to become a father. It started with a message from my boss, "Emma. Come to my office. We need to talk." 4 simple words. But when your boss sends them at 8:15 in the morning, your mind immediately starts creating worst-case scenarios. I had been working for Emma for almost 3 years. She was the kind of boss everyone respected. Smart, confident, organized, and impossible to impress. She also happened to be the woman I had secretly fallen in love with. But there was one problem. She was my boss. So I had always kept my feelings to myself. I walked into her office and immediately noticed something was different. Emma wasn't sitting behind her desk. She was standing beside the window, staring outside. "Close the door, please," she said. I did. She turned around. For a few seconds, neither of us spoke. Then she took a deep breath. "I need to tell you something." I tried to smile. "Am I being fired?" She shook her head. "No." "Then is the company going bankrupt?" "No." "Did I accidentally send that client email to the wrong person?" A tiny smile appeared on her face. "No. You're not in trouble." "Okay," I said. "Then why do you look like you're about to tell me the building is on fire?" Her smile disappeared. "Because this is much more complicated." She walked toward me and stopped a few feet away. Then she placed one hand over her stomach. My eyes followed her hand. And suddenly, everything made sense. Or at least, I thought it did. "You're pregnant," I whispered. Emma nodded. My heart started beating faster. "Congratulations," I said automatically. She looked down. "It's yours." I froze. "What?" Her eyes met mine. "The baby in my belly is yours." I couldn't speak. For several seconds, the room felt completely silent. Then I pointed at myself. "Mine?" "Yes." I sat down slowly. "So?" I swallowed. "So I'm going to be a dad?" Emma nodded. "Yes." I stared at her. Then I laughed. Not because it was funny. Because I didn't know what else to do. "You're serious?" "Completely." I stood up again. "When did you find out?" "A few weeks ago." "And you didn't tell me?" I was scared. That stopped me. "Scared of me?" "No," she said. "Scared of what this would do to both of us." I understood immediately. She was my boss. If anyone found out we had been together, people would talk. They would question her leadership. They would question my position. And most importantly, they would assume I had somehow received special treatment. But there was something I needed to know. "Emma." "Yes?" "Do you regret it?" She looked at me for a long moment. "No." Her answer came without hesitation. "No, I don't regret you." Those words hit me harder than the pregnancy announcement. Because I had spent months believing that whatever happened between us had been a mistake. A secret moment neither of us was supposed to repeat. But apparently, she had felt something too. I walked closer. "Then why didn't you tell me sooner?" She looked down at her hands. "Because I didn't know what you wanted." "I wanted you." She looked up quickly. "You never said that." "I was afraid." "Of me?" "Of losing everything." She smiled sadly. "You weren't the only one." For the first time, I realized how lonely she must have felt carrying this secret. I sat beside her. "What happens now?" "I don't know." She took a deep breath. "I've been thinking about resigning." "What?" You can't be my employee if we're going to raise a child together. I shook my head. You don't have to leave your career because of me. It's not just because of you. She looked at me. It's because I love you. I felt like the world had stopped. What did you say? She laughed nervously. I said I love you. I couldn't stop smiling. I've wanted to hear that for a very long time. She reached for my hand. But this isn't a movie, she said. We have a lot to figure out. I know. Your career. My career. My reputation. Our relationship. And the baby. I squeezed her hand. Then we'll figure it out together. She looked at me with tears in her eyes. You're not running? I shook my head. Emma, I'm terrified. She laughed through her tears. So am I. But I'm not running. She leaned against my shoulder. For the first time, we weren't boss and employee. We were just two people standing at the beginning of something neither of us had planned. A few weeks later, Emma called a meeting with the company's board. I was there too. She told them everything. There were difficult questions. Some people were shocked. One board member asked whether our relationship had affected my promotions. Emma calmly explained that every promotion and salary increase had been based on documented performance. Then I spoke. I don't expect special treatment, I said. If anything, I want the opposite. Judge me by my work. The room became quiet. Finally, the board made a decision. Emma would remain CEO, but I would move to another department and report to a different manager. It wasn't perfect. But it was fair. And for the first time, we didn't have to hide. Months passed. The pregnancy became more visible. Emma changed. Not in the way people at work expected. She became softer. More patient. She laughed more. And I changed too. I started reading parenting books. I assembled a crib 3 times because I kept putting the pieces together wrong. Emma found it hilarious. You're going to teach our child how to build things? I'll teach them how to make mistakes confidently. She laughed. Then one evening, we were sitting on the couch. Emma took my hand and placed it on her belly. Wait. I smiled. What? Just wait. A second later, I felt it. A tiny kick. My eyes widened. That was. She nodded. Our baby. I didn't say anything. I just kept my hand there. Then I whispered. Hi. Emma smiled. What are you saying? I looked at her. I'm introducing myself. She laughed. I think the baby already knows you. I hope so. She rested her head against my shoulder. You know what I was most afraid of? What? That you'd hear the news and disappear. I turned toward her. I could never do that. You say that now. I mean it. She looked into my eyes. You really want this? I looked at her belly. Then at her. I want you. I want our child. And I want the life we're building. She smiled. Even though I'm still your boss. I laughed. Technically, you're not my boss anymore. True. So now I can finally tell you something I've wanted to say for years. What? I leaned closer. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. Her eyes filled with tears. Then she whispered. And you're going to be a wonderful dad. 9 months after that terrifying morning in her office, our daughter was born. I remember holding her for the first time. She was tiny. Her fingers wrapped around mine. And suddenly, every fear I'd ever had seemed smaller. Emma looked exhausted but happy. She smiled at me. So. I whispered. So I'm really a dad. She laughed softly. Yes. I looked down at our daughter. Then I looked at the woman I loved. I guess that meeting wasn't about firing me after all. Emma smiled. No. She reached for my hand. It was about changing your life. And she was right. I had walked into that office expecting the worst. I walked out knowing my life would never be the same. Not because I had become a father. Not because my relationship had changed. But because I finally learned something important. Sometimes the biggest surprises in life arrive disguised as the things you're most afraid of. And sometimes, the person you were terrified to love becomes the person you can't imagine living without.